Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and may peace be upon us all. First of all, we will thank to God who has been giving us guidance, happiness, health, and mercy so we can attain this event without any detention. The Honorable Chancellor of Mulawarman University, Dr. Insinyur Haji Abdul Nur MSI IPU, along with the staff, the Honorable Representative of the Ambassador of the United States, Foreign Service Officer, Economic Officer, Department of State, Lester Asamoah, Foreign Service Officer, Environment, Science, Technology, and Health Officer, Department of State, Nick Austin, and Indonesia Country Director, ICCF, Group Jimmy Ward. Welcome to Mulawarman University. The Honorable Entourage of Expert Team from Mr. Budi Satrio Jiwandono. The Honorable Committee of Mulawarman University and the Honorable all the participants. I would like to welcome you to the United States Embassy's socialization event on the economy, culture, and relations between Indonesia and United States at Mulawarman University, Samarinda, March 2nd, 2023. I am Zaki Andrifa Hibatullah, a student of the Faculty of Agriculture and also International Student Body at the International Office and Excellent Program of Mulawarman University. It is a wonderful and precious chance for me to be your Master of Ceremony on this nice occasion. Without further hesitation, we carry out the next agenda, which is singing the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Attendees are kindly requested to stand. Attendees are kindly requested to sit back. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is praying. Let's pray for a moment for the smooth running of our event today. The prayer will be led by Mr. Rudini Esos Amsos. For Mr. Rudini, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Bapak Ibu hadirin yang berbahagia, untuk memulai kegiatan kita pada pagi hari ini dan memohon kelancaran serta keberkahan dari Tuhan Yang Maha Kuasa Allah Subhanahu wa taala, marilah kita sama-sama berdoa menurut agama dan keyakinan kita masing-masing. Mohon izin untuk memimpin doa pada kesempatan kali ini. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammadin fil awwalin wal akhirin. Wa barik wa sallim wa radiyallahu ta'ala an kulli sahabati Rasulillah ajma'in. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Hamdan syakirin birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Allahumma ya Allah ya Rahmanu ya Rahim. Engkau adalah Zat yang Maha Pengasih lagi Maha Penyayang. Sungguh kami sebagai makhluk-makhluk-Mu ya Rabb membutuhkan kasih sayang dari-Mu ya Arhamar Rahimin. Karena sejatinya kami tak memiliki daya dan upaya serta kekuatan ya Rabb kecuali atas izin dari-Mu. La haula wa la quwwata illa billah. Allahumma ya Allah, lancarkanlah serta mudahkanlah segala urusan kami, termasuk kegiatan yang kami selenggarakan hari ini ya Arhamar Rahimin. Allahumma ja'alna ilman nafi'an wa rizqan tayyiban wa syi'an mubarakan wa amalan mutaqabbalan birahmatika ya Arhamar Rahimin. Anugerahilah dalam pertemuan ini ilmu yang bermanfaat, ilmu yang berkah, dan ilmu yang terbaik dari sisi-Mu ya Arhamar Rahimin. Karena dengan ilmu yang Kau titipkan kepada kami mampu membedakan mana yang baik juga mana yang buruk, mana yang salah juga mana yang benar. Allahumma yassir lana umurana bijahi sayyidina Muhammadin bin Ali Ba'awalawi. Kami mohon kepadamu ya Rabb, mudahkanlah segala langkah dan urusan kami, urusan yang senantiasa mendatangkan kecintaan dari-Mu dan keberkahan dari-Mu ya Arhamar Rahimin. Perkenankanlah munajat kami, kabulkanlah doa kami. Rabbana ya Allah, atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar wa adkhilna jannatal mal abrar ya aziz ya ghaffar ya karim ya sattar ya rabbal alamin. Subhanaka rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wassalamu alal mursalin walhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is greetings that will be delivered by the Chancellor of Mulawarman University, Dr. Insinyur Haji Abdunur MSI IPU. The time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Selamat pagi, semangat pagi, dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. High Excellency Mr. Lester Asamoah, Economic Officer Department from Embassy of United States of America. Thank you for your coming to our university, and we hope you enjoy one night stay maybe in Samarinda city, because today you must be back to Jakarta. Okay, so I hope you amenity and comfortable, and also My Excellency for Mr. Astrio Peligans, and also Mr. Otto Vianus, expert from Bodhisatyo community. And then I will introducing our member university for you, Mr. Lester. My honorable for the first vice rector, Prof. Lambang Subagio, please stand. You can stand. Only it is okay. And then the second Vice Rector, Mrs. Dr. Sukartiningsi. Okay. And the third Vice Rector for student and alumnus, Professor Muhammad Bazar. The fourth Vice Rector not coming? Not yet. Okay. And then the Director of Research Institution, ya, Professor Widi Sunario. And then the head of our Director of Community Services, LP3M, Quality Insurance, Mr. Dr. Hapiludin. And then I want introducing Mr. Dr. Sulistyo Probowo, the head of International Affairs. And then the back side, the Director of Academic and Student Section, Ms. Apra Tustini, in your back side. Okay. And then the Director of Planning, Human Relations and Cooperation, Mr. Sugiarsa. And then special staff and expert for student, Dr. Eddie. And then the special staff and expert for student, also Dr. Bibit. And other maybe. I'm sorry, we can say name exactly for everyone. And I want to say all of you, all participants, our student, Mulawar Warman University. Salam semangat untuk mahasiswa Universitas Mulawar Warman. Mr. Lester and everyone standing here, I want to say, firstly, on behalf as a rector Mulawar Warman University, I would like to say thank you for coming to Mulawar Warman University, and today for general lecture from you, and maybe later looking forward for arrange collaboration and cooperation program between our university and with the USA Embassy. And maybe in the future, we have collaboration program with other university in your country. I want to inform you about our university. My scientific orientation about the tropical rainforest and its environment. We want to give support about the knowledge development, research, development, and community services based on our tropical studies. And we close located near new capital city Nusantara, Indonesia. So we must to support to NCC development, and then we must be to rent to many stakeholders to support them. So maybe from USA MBC, we can make many collaboration program. Actually, about student exchange program, lecture collaboration program by research going together, and other program maybe for our student. Maybe our student later have possible to opportunity visit to your country, and then visit to a university in your country, like that. And based on your special officer economic department, maybe you can give me advice about how to improve economic growth of Indonesia, especially for economic in East Kalimantan. Exactly. Everything. Thank you very much for your come here, come to your university, and please enjoy one night stand in Samarinda City. And we have philosophy or local wisdom for everyone people first coming to Samarinda City. It's like please drink Mahakam River water if you first coming to Samarinda City, so you can come back more like that. It's okay. Please, please. I hope with your general lecture can to improve knowledge our student, and later also we will be discuss about how to make a collaboration program with your country, USA, exactly with the USA Embassy. So maybe we have opportunity also to visit your country, exactly run program between your university. So far we have a collaboration program with Ohio University, and we will to make a discuss about the next program for student and for our lecture. Maybe a research collaboration, student exchange, maybe a little bit, or some student will be going to America. We have about 36,000 student body student, and we have 13 faculty and one graduate school. This I think we potency for support our country and make improve our university to be world class university. So please support me with support program by collaboration and cooperation program. Looking forward. Finally, you enjoy stay in Samarinda, maybe just one night stay, but you have a good memory in Samarinda and our university. Nice to meet you today, and thanks so much for all participants attending there. And maybe looking forward, we have any program with the many university from the outside country, and I hope all of students keep spirit always to study in the Mulawarman University, even study in outside country. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give applause for the great greetings for Mr. Dr. Insinyur Haji Abdunur, MSc IPU. We would like to thank you in advance for the welcome you have given to us. Well, the next agenda is the handover of souvenirs from Mula Warman University to representative of the United States Embassy, followed by a photo agenda with all guests present this morning.
Iya, baik Bapak Ibu, disilakan untuk bergabung berfoto bersama untuk seluruh wakil rektor, kepala ketua lembaga, kepala biro dan juga kepala UPT serta dari Kedutaan Besar Amerika dan staf khusus wakil rektor 3. Dan setelah ini nantinya kita akan berpindah foto untuk seluruh peserta mahasiswa.
Okay, look at the camera and give your best smile. Maybe I will count it, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, once again, look at the camera. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, look at the camera. 1, 2, and 3. Baik, setelah ini kita akan memasuki sesi foto bersama yang dimana untuk itu seluruh peserta yang hadir pada acara pagi hari ini untuk berdiri karena kita akan memasuki agenda foto bersama. Jadi dimohon kepada seluruh peserta agar bisa berdiri. Terima kasih. Baik, semuanya lihat ke kamera. Senyum yang manis, yang lebar. 1, 2, 3. Baik, sekali lagi semuanya berikan senyum yang terbaik. 1, 2, 3. Salam semangat. Ya, karena ini masih pagi, kita harus selalu semangat ya semuanya. Lihat ke kameranya, senyum. 1, 2, 3. Oke, tepuk tangan untuk kita semua. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next we will enter the socialization agenda from the United States Embassy regarding the economy, culture, and relation between Indonesia and the United States. And the one who will present our socialization topic on this sunny morning is Lester Asamoah. Time is yours. Please give applause.
Halo, selamat pagi semua. Thank you all so very much for welcoming me here today. Bapak Rector, Dr. Abdul, Vice Rectors, professors, and then students. I'm very honored to be here, and on behalf of His Excellency Ambassador Sung Kim, I want to say, thank you for the collaboration and the opportunity to be here, and we do, in fact, look forward to having sustainable collaboration. So my name is Lester Asamoah, and I'm an economic officer at U.S. Embassy Jakarta. So in my office, we work on various economic issues between the United States and Indonesia, of which I can share a little bit about. But I want to talk to you today about cultural programs, cultural exchange programs that we have from the embassy if you're interested in going to the United States to study, whether it's longer term or if it's just a short exchange. The United States is proud of our various exchange programs that we run, and we want the opportunity to open more people-to-people ties between the United States and Indonesia. The United States and Indonesia are the world's third and fourth most populous countries. We have shared values, diversity and unity. In diversity, we both have a lot to contribute in terms of technological future. I know everybody has Instagram or WhatsApp here. I've had the opportunity to live in Indonesia for almost 2 years. And in so many ways, we have a lot of things we can learn from each other. In so many ways, we have things that are very similar. So I hope that after this program, you'll consider at least visiting the United States and contributing to the people-to-people ties that enrich both of our nations. I have a slideshow presentation. Is that? Oh. So in order to help me out with my presentation, I've got a little slideshow I want to share with you so that you can have the information handy about our various programs. Could you go to the next slide, please? So I wanted to share a little bit about, as I mentioned, an overview of what our, there we go. So I want to share an overview of the overall relationship that Indonesia and the United States has. So in my office, as I mentioned, I work on economic affairs, but we also have people-to-people ties, which is another thing that I'll discuss, as well as countering emerging threats, strengthening our security, and human rights, all of which I know are priorities for the Indonesian government and as well as the United States government. In terms of economic ties and strengthening economic cooperation, the United States and Indonesia have about $30 billion of two-way trade, which is quite a lot of money when you think about it. However, Ambassador Kim and the United States government is always seeking ways to improve and increase our trade between the two countries. As the United States is sixth as of 2022 in terms of two-way trade between countries. So we want, of course, move up the list from our perspective in the United States Embassy. We have a lot of cooperation in terms of agricultural support and products, and in the trade, one thing that we sell to Indonesia regularly is soybeans for tempeh. But among those products, we have our big US tech companies such as Facebook. Oh great. We have our big tech companies, so Facebook, Google, Amazon, web services, and we also have energy companies, some that are looking into the economic future of EVs, and some that have been here for a long time, like Freeport. So we have that economic cooperation, and as well as across the board, Indonesia has been an important partner in combating violent extremism and in general human rights, being outspoken in various fora, and and people-to-people ties. So I'll go into people and people ties specifically in the next few slides. Next slide, please. So we have several programs here that I'll talk about, but we have the acronyms are SUSI, YSEALI, and then we have Fulbright, as well as Education USA, and our Youth Leadership Program. I'll go into the slides in a moment, but I wanted to highlight with this how many opportunities we have to engage with the United States and people-to-people ties. Next slide, please. So I'll start with the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative. So this was in 2013, and it's still ongoing, where we wanted to take leaders from Indonesia as well as other parts of Southeast Asia and provide opportunities to go learn about leadership in the United States. And so we have, it could be 18 and 35, which I think is most of the students here, you all are probably in that age range. And we're focusing on education, civic engagement, sustainable development, and economic growth. The sustainable development part, as I understand it, East Kalimantan is really critical in that you have a big forestry school here. And of course, with the new capital being nearby, that's going to be something that you all will play into, as well as with economic development. As Indonesia continues to become, grow economically in Southeast Asia and worldwide, learning from experts in the US and other people from Southeast Asia is a great opportunity to help contribute to economic growth in Indonesia. All right, next slide, please. So here's a little bit more information. I'll let it go up for a second of just some fast facts and how you can get involved. But essentially, we have the academic fellowship program, which is direct kind of fellowship for undergraduate students. And then if you maybe don't want to do it right now, later on, as you get into your careers, you can do the professional exchange. So you don't necessarily have to be a college student in order to do some of these programs. You can wait until you get into your career a little bit and then go on the exchange. Next slide, please. And we just want to highlight, Indonesia, of course, has the most participants in Southeast Asia from YSEALI, and we want to keep increasing that number. Of course, Indonesia is one of the biggest countries in the world, and for us, we always want to keep those exchanges going. But you already have, over almost 40,000 Indonesians who participated, and you all could be next. So, next slide, please. And so I'll leave the QR code up there for a second if you want to scan that. And we have our, yeah, thank you. So I just want to give that up there. And then we also have our, it's kind of small, but our different Instagram and Twitter handles if you want to see the social media and see updates. And then that QR code, of course, will take you to get more information. Yeah, I'm still learning doing QR codes for everything. And then SUSI. So it's the study of US institutes. So we're targeting as well undergraduate students, young leaders like you all, to showcase US institutions and do an information exchange about the various programs we have. Right now, our two focuses are on education and the future of work, which of course in Indonesia is fascinating, right? Because it's digitizing so quickly here, and you all have so many small and medium enterprises that are innovating and shaping the future of work. And so that's one of the big topics of we're concentrating on, as well as religious freedom and pluralism. For the United States and Indonesia have had a long history of cooperating in religious affairs, and Indonesia is seen as a very valued partner and a leader in the Islamic world on these issues. So we try to take our institutions and learn from you all when it comes to religious freedom and pluralism. So those programs, so it's a 5-week program at a host university. So it's a shorter one, not like a long-term scholarship or degree program. So very manageable. And yeah, so we have 20 participants. So it's another, like YSEALI, you're not doing it alone. You'll have other colleagues around you that you can also learn from. Next slide, please. The other thing that I want to talk about is Education USA. And Education USA is a hub where we set up to advise students on getting into undergraduate or graduate degree programs in the United States. And it's free, there's no pressure or any sort of specific universities we direct people towards. Our Education USA advisors take what you want to do and help get you in the right direction. And whether that's through helping out with undergraduate exams or graduate exams to get into a certain program, or helping out with what program might be the best fit, we have our advisors that will do that. And so yeah, you can see up there, it's not an agent. So that's another great program to take advantage of. I have little information pamphlets for anybody that wants it after. And yeah, so please do consider checking out Education USA. Next slide, please. So one thing is we wanted to convince you to study in the United States, right? You have many good options around you. Of course, we understand a lot of people study in Australia, people study in New Zealand or China, but we want to have more students come from Indonesia specifically to the United States. We know it's kind of far, but some of the advantages we just want to put out there is we have, top-ranked universities in the world. We can have cultural exchange and learn more about Americans when you go study in the United States with them. We have research, so I know here this university has great research, and you can kind of build on the skills that you're learning here now in the United States as well. Professional networks. Whenever I was in university, I'm still connected with many of the people I went to school with that are in diplomacy or in business and beyond. And you get to travel around the United States. I am a fan of all the different things we have, our big national parks, to the big cities like New York or Los Angeles. And as a student, if you were to go to the United States, you could travel around and learn more about all the sites that you've seen probably in movies or on social media. Next slide, please. And one more. Okay. And so this is like a map of all the various institutions that we work with, and there's so many more universities in the United States that we have. But this is just like a fun little map. You can't see it very well, but I'm from Oklahoma, and I went to one of the schools on this map. Next slide, please. And here's another QR code. I'll leave it up for a second for you all to scan, and so you can go to that and get more information about Education USA. Oh, can we go back to the QR code, please? Sorry. All right. Now, next slide, please. Okay. So one other program that I wanted to discuss is the Fulbright program. So it's a very prestigious opportunity and for both U.S. Citizens to come to Indonesia as well as Indonesian citizens to go to the United States to engage in research, language exchanges. And so we've had this for 30 years in Indonesia. And the Fulbright has a couple of different opportunities actually in the next slide. So we can go over one. So one of the programs is the Community College Initiative program. And so community college in the United States has a lot of specialized skills like trade, and we provide students the opportunity to go and learn those trades for like a shorter term than maybe doing a full degree. So that is something that you can check out. Next slide, please. And then probably one of the most famous ones is the undergraduate exchange program, where we send students from Indonesia and all over the world to the United States to pursue an undergraduate degree. You all are currently in your undergraduate degree now, but so maybe I'll go to the next slide. So we have foreign language teaching assistants. So we send U.S. citizens here to Indonesia to help teach English, and it's a two-way exchange. So for Indonesian language programs in the United States that we're trying to start up and continue, we send Indonesian teachers to go and teach Indonesian language in the United States. So here's something to look out for. And if you're doing education as your major, then this is a good opportunity to perhaps teach Indonesian language and culture in the United States. Next slide, please. So yeah, so this is kind of just the various things you get to do as part of our cultural and outreach programs, little photos. Next slide, please. So one thing too is we have American Spaces, and we're trying to expand that actually here in East Kalimantan. We're looking at ways to expand an American Space here. But all over Indonesia, if you're in Jakarta or you're in another part of the country, we have places you can go and just learn about American culture. So all the programming's free, and it's also on social media as well. So if you want to get on Instagram or YouTube, you can learn more about just American culture day in and day out. We have tons of programming online and back in person now as well. Next slide, please. Okay, and then, so yeah, this is just a little bit more information, as I mentioned, about like what our American Space is, and our specific one, our hub is at Amerika, which is in Pacific Place Mall in Jakarta. Next slide, please. So we want you to be part of the exchanges. We want you to, engage with us. We want to continue the people-to-people ties that we find is a big priority as the embassy. We can do good work, but if we don't have like people-to-people ties, how do we sustain that work? And we want to send more Americans here to learn about Indonesian culture. We especially want more of you all to go to learn about our culture. So check out their website. I think there's one more QR code. But if there's not, I do have little QR cards too. I have lots of little gifts. Next slide, please. Oh, there is one more QR code. So that's like a QR code that shares more about our American spaces and about the embassy social media. So thank you so much. I hope that learning a little bit more about the various opportunities was very informative for you all. And I hope you'll consider these opportunities. I can't stress enough how much we care about providing these opportunities and what we want to do to expand those. And you all are the future. You are the ones that we want to reach, so please do consider us. I can do questions now. We can do questions about exchange programs, or if you have questions about US policy or broader embassy issues, I want to make an opportunity to ask. I know we don't get to talk every day, we don't get many diplomats to be able to go out all the time, so we want to provide the opportunity to ask any questions. So.
Okay, let's give applause for Mr. Lester Asamoah for the great explanation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was some explanation about economy, culture, and relation between Indonesia and United States from Mr. Lester Asamoah, which is very interesting, of course, to be reviewed and we discuss together. For this reason, after this, I will open question and answer session. For those who want to ask question, we welcome all of you to question about the things that Mr. Lester Asamoah explained today. Okay, we allow the fastest 2 or 3, Mr. 3 question. Okay, 3 questions for all of you. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Can I ask now? Ask now. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizky Putra Pratama, one of super student in Mula Warman University. Good morning, Mr. Lester.
Morning.
I like your smile.
Thank you so much.
Very charming.
Yeah.
Yes, your smile built my day.
Oh.
If you ever watch Indonesian movie, I would like to know your opinion. How to make Indonesia's entertainment as big as Hollywood? You know what I say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it, Mister. Thank you very much. I love you.
Well, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for your question, and this has made my day as well to be here. Yeah. To answer your question about the film industry, so I can't say I've ever directed a movie or know how to expand it, but Netflix and Warner Brothers are they're trying to expand their activities in Indonesia. So we're in the economic section at the moment. We're talking with various American film companies to come and share their expertise and to give the opportunities for Indonesian filmmakers to grow and one day be as big as Hollywood. I unfortunately can't say I've seen an Indonesian movie. I need to see one. Maybe I'll have to watch one tonight. But I've seen, like in the US, when we have movies of Bali, for example, they don't actually shoot them in Bali. And so one thing that people in Bali have told us was like, well, you have these movies, but the characters in Bali, but they're not actually in Bali. We should change that. And so that's one thing we're trying to cooperate with the Balinese provincial government and our filmmakers to say, how do we get more Indonesians represented in film? Netflix increasingly has Indonesian movies, and more Americans are watching them. I told my friends when they know I'm in Indonesia, they're like, oh, I've seen this movie, or I've seen that movie. So I think that with the progress that we have of cooperation with Hollywood companies in Indonesia now, and exploring those opportunities, perhaps we can get to getting those big film industry in Indonesia. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please let's give applause for Mr. Lester Asamoah for the answer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will inform you that maybe I will close the question and answer session because after this that will be some resume from the one of representative of USA Embassy for Mr. Maybe you can resume for all the explanation. Okay.
Halo semuanya, selamat siang. Oh, don't worry, question and answer is still open. Okay, I just want to make sure. Saya pengen mencoba supaya ini lebih cair. Mungkin dari teman-teman sudah menyiapkan beberapa pertanyaan dalam bahasa Inggris, ya kan? Cuman memang untuk supaya dibuat lebih santai aja. I still would like to encourage you guys to ask the question in English, obviously. Tapi kalau misalnya punya beberapa pertanyaan, yang saya yakin mungkin kadang-kadang teknis ya, dan mungkin bingung, nanti di sini saya dengan senang hati bisa membantu untuk meneruskan ke Lester. Jadi misalnya contoh nih tadi, mungkin pada bingung, misalnya waktu perkenalan Lester Asamoah ini adalah Foreign Service Officer dari Economic Officer dari Department of State misalnya. Apa tuh Department of State? Mungkin pada bingung, ada yang udah tahu, ada yang belum tahu ya kan. Kalau di Amerika, kalau di kita bilangnya kementerian. Cuman kalau di Amerika Serikat bilangnya itu department gitu loh. Ya kan? Jadi ini fun fact seperti ini mungkin kalau teman-teman ada yang mau nanya, menterinya juga kita tidak bilang menteri, tapi kalau di situ istilahnya secretary. Makanya namanya Secretary of State, kalau menteri pertahanan di situ adalah Secretary of Defense, bilangnya itu secretary gitu. Mungkin teman-teman ada pertanyaan umum, misalnya bedanya apa sih antara Senate, Congressman gitu loh. Bedanya Act, Bill, kalau di sini kan ada undang-undang. Feel free to ask, ataupun yang berhubungan dengan education atau apapun, silakan. Kalau ada teman-teman yang ingin bertanya, saya dengan senang hati membantu.
Okay, hello. First of all, uh, my name is Rizky. I'm public relation staff of Unmul. I actually interested in YCLI. Yeah. May I ask about? You said that you don't have to be a student to be a participant of YCLI. So, what do we have to do? Do we have to have a role in society or what? And what is maximum age to become the participant of YCLI? Okay, that's all I ask. Thank you.
Great questions. For YCLI, yeah, we generally look for people that like are younger, that also are in some sort of field where they can grow their leadership. So you don't necessarily have to be a student. You could be working or be doing some sort of role where you want to expand in your leadership. I believe the maximum age is 35, but that said, even beyond that, there are other programs we have. One exchange that that's not, that I didn't put up here is we have the International Visitors Leadership Program. So that's where we send some more seasoned experts or people who may be a little bit older to go as well. So even if you have maybe if you're like a little bit too old for one of the programs, there's still other options that you can look at. I'm not in the cultural affairs office, so I think for more, maybe you could ask their social media, and I can certainly share like different information as well about it. But all of that to say is, even if you're over 35, we have programs for exchange. Yeah.
Mungkin ada pertanyaan lain, kita mungkin masih punya sekitar 10 menit. Kita bisa manfaatin kesempatan ini dengan sebaik-baiknya. Percaya deh, nanti kalau udah 10 tahun lagi pasti bakal bilang edukasi itu salah satu hal yang paling penting. Jadi kita bisa belajar di sini dari pemerintah Amerika Serikat. Silakan kalau ada yang mau bertanya. Ya, ada berapa orang? Kita lock aja ya, 1, 2, 3, 4 ya. Silakan.
Baik, terima kasih. Supaya Anda nanti bisa menerjemahkan. Saya Sulistyo Prabowo dari UPT Layanan Internasional. Kami di Unmul itu sudah ada 2 corner. Yang pertama dari ABC, Australian Banget Corner. Kemudian yang kedua ada Warung Prancis. Dan ini merupakan representasi dari embassy masing-masing untuk mempromosikan hal-hal seperti ini. Apakah mungkin seandainya US Embassy juga membuka mungkin di Unmul semacam corner seperti itu? Itu akan sangat membantu dan programnya akan berjalan terus, tidak hanya sepotong-sepotong. Yang kedua, kami juga ada Indonesia yang sekarang sedang mengadakan program IISMA. Ini adalah satu peluang yang sangat besar untuk bisa mengirimkan mahasiswa dari Indonesia to United States. Kebetulan saya juga alumni dari Amerika, Tulane University. Kemudian IISMA ini memang sangat terbatas sekali. Nah, seandainya memungkinkan, terutama yang paling berat itu adalah air tiket ya, tiket pesawat. Kalau dari Amerika ke Indonesia atau Indonesia ke Amerika, Amerika ada di belahan benua di bawah kita. Nah, apakah mungkin dari US Embassy itu memfasilitasi untuk beasiswa special for Formula 1 University student, so kita bisa mengirimkan mereka ke Amerika tanpa melalui program yang sangat selektif. Karena kalau melalui program-program beasiswa yang ditawarkan oleh pemerintah Amerika, itu kecenderungan mahasiswa dari luar Jawa itu selalu kalah bersaing. Nah, seandainya ada alokasi untuk mahasiswa Unmul, itu tentu akan sangat membantu sekali. Mungkin sementara itu. Terima kasih.
Maaf Bapak, tadi waktu pertanyaan pertama corner maksudnya ada pojok, ada outlet gitu ya?
Okay. Thank you for asking the question, and thank you, Pastrio, for translating it for me. So I'll answer in English, and then and you can translate that. On the first question, as I understand, you're asking like the UK and French have their sort of centers here in East Kalimantan. Will we do the same with the US? Luckily, the answer is we're exploring where to put something similar. So we're looking at like an American corner concept in East Kalimantan as well. So I don't know the specific plans of where exactly it'll be quite yet, but I know that my colleagues in cultural affairs are planning to do something similar to what the UK and the French did here with having a corner for exchange. On the second question of student exchanges and having more direct links, that's trickier just because of US like laws. The embassy can't facilitate like direct things without, well, how do I put this? So we can support like if other universities want to have like a direct scholarship exchange or a dual degree program, but for our federal funding programs, we have to have some rules about which universities and the criteria we do different things with. So we have MOUs and we have some general guidelines we can do, but for direct, like, I guess, pipelines, it's a little bit trickier. That said, we are always looking for avenues to go around, I wouldn't say go around the rules, but see what rules we can use to say, how do we get students from Uluwarman to the US more directly outside of doing like all of these application processes. We know that's a pain point because the application process is quite intensive. You have to get the flights and you have to do all of these things. And instead of actually just studying in the US, but the reason why some of those pain points exist is because of like our federal law has some guidelines on how we can do the exchanges.
Maybe I don't have to translate word by word because I'm pretty sure you guys understand it already, but maybe just to give several clarification and a bit of a sharing with you guys, sedikit aja, mungkin sharing menambahkan lah ya, mengelaborasikan. Kalau tadi teman-teman ada yang bingung misalnya, ya pada dasarnya kan ada proses birokrasi, ketika Lester bilang federal budget, kalau di kita APBN istilahnya, ya kan, mereka refer to federal budget. Mungkin ada beberapa proses yang kalau memang mau student exchange bisa dilakuin. Tadi kan Lester juga ada share beberapa, itu bisa di go through. Kalau saran saya pribadi, follow social media dari @Amerika, itu ada beberapa cabang, saya nggak tahu di Kali. No, Oke, itu yang lagi mau dibikin American Center. Kalau di Jakarta contoh misalnya ada @Amerika itu ada di Mall Pacific Place atau nanti bisa dicek ada di kota mana aja. Itu salah satu source bagus, dapetin dia programnya banyak. Kalau memang sempat main ke kota tersebut datang deh. Dia programnya selalu bagus-bagus. Kalau ada pertanyaan langsung juga bisa langsung di situ. Itu modelnya kadang-kadang seperti TED Talks, itu bisa very inspiring. Jadi mungkin harus lebih proaktif kalau ada teman-teman yang tertarik buat mengejar higher education, mungkin nanti untuk postgrad-nya S2 tertarik. Itu bisa juga mengeksplor informasi dari situ. Tapi intinya kesempatan itu terbuka lebar. Dan kalau memang benar-benar tertarik, saya mendorong teman-teman semua untuk mengejar peluang tersebut karena memang itu ada. Mungkin pertanyaan selanjutnya?
Good morning, sir. Wait a second, my heart is deg-deg. Thank you for bringing the energy, positive vibes to this space. I like your smile. Okay. I just want to know, what is your biggest challenge that you you are in Indonesia, and how do you fix that? Sorry for my bad English. Oke, apa tantangan terbesar Anda ketika berada di Indonesia? Dan seperti yang kita ketahui bahwa kita memiliki banyak perbedaan budaya, dan bagaimana cara Anda mengatasinya? Terima kasih.
Thank you. That's a very good question of like what challenges we have. I would start by saying the relationship between the United States and Indonesia is strong. So the challenges are more of how do we increase our cooperation? And the biggest challenge is a really good question. I'd say it's not like a conflict, but it's like how do we use two things with trade? How do we increase our trade relationship? Two of the biggest countries in the world have for us, like U.S. and Indonesia, relatively like lower trade volume than what maybe other two countries of our sizes have. And so we're constantly trying to look for ways that we can improve our trade relationship, and that can be a challenge, right? Because trade involves sending your goods somewhere else and vice versa, and it can compete with domestic markets. And so we have to like navigate that carefully. I'd say the other challenge is leveraging all of the support worldwide and from the United States for climate change, because we have the Just Energy Transition Partnership. So the United States, along with Japan and other international partners, are going to channel up to $20 billion in Indonesia to get renewable energy online and take out, eventually, like phase out coal. But when you talk about mobilizing so much money for climate change, you have to figure out the details. It's very important to understand where the money will go, how it'll be used, and where we can like come together and bring so many different people to tackle a massive problem. So those two things, we're always trying to figure out ways we can cooperate, and we do collaborate with the Indonesian government very closely on these issues. We collaborate with other countries such as Japan, together with Indonesia, and with partners around the world, United Kingdom, etc., to tackle some of our biggest challenges. But I'd say at the embassy, we're very focused on trade, and we're very focused on combating climate change and using the international support that Indonesia received at G20 and like the pledges for support in making those a reality.
Jadi ada dua topik menarik ya tadi ya, teman-teman. Ada yang dari jurusan ekonomi di sini? Banyak ya. Nah, jadi salah satu poin penting tadi yang dimention sama Lester itu adalah trade, oke? Jadi coba mungkin PR sedikit untuk teman-teman, coba habis ini cari informasi neraca perdagangan kita dengan Amerika tuh berapa dan komposisinya apa saja. Oke, karena kalau kita ngomong trade ini penting banget, ada beberapa komoditas yang memang kita nggak punya. Contoh misal gandum, ya kita memang harus import karena kita tidak ada barang itu di sini gitu loh. Tapi konsekuensinya kalau kita impor kita punya namanya nilai tukar rupiah, ya kan? Itu juga PR teman-teman, pelajari konsep nilai tukar itu seperti apa. Kalau misalnya impornya bagaimana, nanti bagaimana itu mengefek inflasi. Jadi trade ini penting, tapi adalah untuk kepentingan dua negara sebenarnya, saling simbiosis mutualisme. Poin kedua tadi yang Lester mention ini juga penting, ada yang jurusannya apa ya kalau tentang renewable energy di sini ya. Fakultasnya mungkin ada yang berhubungan dengan renewable energy, tapi memang ini merupakan isu global. Tadi Lester mention tentang JEPT. Itu coba di Google ya. Jadi intinya adalah kita harus dunia ini meninggalkan ketergantungan, kalau di kita bahasanya PLTU, pembangkit listrik tenaga uap yang masih menggunakan coal atau batu bara, ya kan? Nah memang kita punya carbon emission memang masih relatif lebih rendah, tapi seiring kita mengindustrialisasikan negara ini, itu menjadi satu tantangan. Jadi kita harus beralih ke sumber energi yang dari hulunya itu sudah bersih. Kalau kita berbicara mobil listrik itu kan di hilir, ya kan? Mobil listrik tidak menghasilkan karbon, tapi listriknya dari mana ayo kalau di Indonesia? Dari PLTU. Artinya masih ada carbon emission. Nah itu juga dipelajarin ya. Itu menarik banget karena ke depannya ketika nanti teman-teman 10 tahun ke depan dunianya semua ada di situ. Silakan kalau ada pertanyaan selanjutnya.
Thank you. I'm so happy and I'm so glad you being here. And I'm so happy for you guys in here. First of all, before the question, you're explaining about how to make collaboration program of USA. the benefit its quality and flexibility, facility, and the program also make a life experience global. I wanna ask about that's benefit of the collaboration of UC. Can you give me a reason why? Thank you. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for the change. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Who's about? No, thank you so much for your question. I'm very glad that I'm here today. It's been a wonderful experience to be here. So if I understand correctly, you're asking more about the benefits of studying abroad or studying outside of Indonesia. So you get the opportunity. I can talk about when I studied abroad. So I did an exchange when I was studying in the United States. I went to Jordan and I learned Arabic. I don't speak it anymore because it's really hard. But I learned a different language, and I actually studied a little bit about Islam. And during my exchange, and I worked really hard. I got to meet people in the Middle East. And so if you go to the US and do an exchange, you have a similar opportunity to practice your language, to meet new people, to work really hard at the university and learn new things. I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's helped me grow a lot as a person. Working here in Indonesia has taught me so much, being in another place and learning from you all. So I hope that you will consider going to the United States, or, I mean, you'd really like to go to the United States, but wherever you go, that you have the opportunity to learn and work hard. And I think those are some of the biggest reasons why I went to do my study abroad, or study in a different country when I was in university.
Jadi itu poin menariknya. Sebenarnya mungkin lebih ke arah begini ya. Ketika kita tertarik di satu industri, ketika kita pergi ke Amerika kita akan terekspos. Tapi menurutku yang paling penting itu adalah banyak sekali pertanyaan yang hanya akan muncul ketika kita di situ karena kita terekspos dengan industrinya. Kita baru lihat industrinya seperti apa. Kalau di sini kita karena tidak terbiasa dengan industrinya, kita bingung, bahkan pertanyaan dari mananya bingung mau nanya apa gitu loh. Tapi begitu kita di situ, kita tahu beberapa facts, kita tahu datanya, kita tahu environmentnya. Di situ bakal mulai pop up new questions from you guys. Kalau itu sudah terjadi, maka yang terjadi akan ada pertambahan wawasan kalian jadi semakin luas. Dan menurutku itu adalah satu pengalaman yang justru tidak ternilai harganya. Dan itu akan membuat kalian punya mindset, cara kalian melihat angle dari suatu situasi, suatu industri, baik sebagai profesional maupun sebagai pengusaha, akan menjadi jauh berbeda. Itu menurutku salah satu nilai plusnya banget. Nah mungkin karena keterbatasan waktu, one last question ya, karena kita harus berangkat ke airport. One last question, ada yang masih mau nanya? Kalau ada yang mau, silakan.
Bisa dijadiin.
Okay, because I'm okay. Hello, Mr. Lester. Maybe I will combine my questions with my friend. Is it okay? First of all, I would like to say welcome to East Borneo, and then I hope you are enjoy to be here. It's really fascinating presentations that in the previous, because it really helps us who are interested to study abroad. And then my questions is there any barriers if we are accepted as a student there that we were going to face if we are there? And then maybe like the culture that we should, or things that we shouldn't do, and then maybe the documents beside the EPT scores, and then or the identity card that we should prepare if we are there. And then maybe
Okay, maybe I'm getting the additional. My name is Irfan Iqbar from Management Faculty Economic and Business, and there's still the linkage with my friend's question before, like when you providing the presentation before, I didn't find, or perhaps I lost the information about the requirements or the steps, like such as the bare minimum of the English proficiency test or the essays or anything else. And to be concerned that I'm joining the IISM in a recent, and it's perhaps to be my second choice if I'm not passing it, which, and that's all. Thank you.
So both are good questions of what things you might need to think about before applying to go on one of these exchanges. With a visa, it's a different type of visa than maybe the visas that you might have heard of tourist visas. We have one specifically for students, so we are very supportive with that visa process, but that is something you would have to prepare. For some exchanges, if it's funded through the embassy or supported by the embassy, the visa would be free. But if you wanted to go to, if you pick a university on your own, then you'd have to like think about the visa cost if you do it separate from like an official program. The other with language, for some of our exchanges that we do that are professional exchanges, we provide translation. And so we have opportunities even if you don't feel as comfortable speaking English or like engaging in like using English, we have ways to help with that. To the broader question of culture and getting adjusted in the US or like figuring out the differences, the US is big. You know, we have places like in Michigan, for example, where there are like a huge Muslim community. We have places like New York that has a little bit of everybody there. We have smaller places. So you don't feel overwhelmed if you don't want to go to New York City. And I think that the culture and the adjustment depends on where you want to go and what you want to do. But I would say Americans are welcoming, and that the universities in the United States and our partners and our exchange partners are businesses that help out these exchanges as well. They really are excited and to show you what American culture is like. And I don't know, I'm American, so maybe I'm biased. I think Americans are nice. But it is a thing to, you know, if you find a location that you want to do an exchange and to read about it, because it is different. In the same way, right, that like Java is different from Sumatra, it's like Texas is going to be different from California. So it's important to study the specific location, but we have resources, whether it's in our exchange or with our universities, that are specifically made to help adjust in the culture.
Jadi mungkin saran terakhir aja teman-teman. In my opinion, I think personally, kunci utamanya adalah bahasa Inggris. You guys have to learn English. You can use textbook as guides untuk beberapa formalitas tes technicalities-nya ya. But don't do it really by the textbook. Just use it like a benchmark, if you would say, right? Kedua, menurut aku yang paling penting adalah is obviously in English. Yeah, my English is not bad, right? Percaya gak, saya gak pernah sekolah di luar, saya selalu sekolah di Indonesia. I'm a living example bahwa ini bisa kenapa, kuncinya cuma satu sebenarnya, you guys really have to practice it. Okay? Jadi kalau kita mencoba di komunitas kita berbicara dengan bahasa Inggris lama-lama pasti lancar, dan itu kita tidak harus menghilangkan budaya, oh kamu tuh so Inggris atau gimana, justru itu mengenrich ourselves when we do that. And when we go abroad, itu akan menunjukkan kualitas kita, satu sebagai seorang manusia, kedua adalah kita sebagai warga negara Indonesia. Jadi ketika orang lihat orang Indonesia tuh, orang bilang orang Indonesia tuh keren gitu, orang Indonesia tuh pinter, they know their things. Gitu. Oke, jadi menurutku sarannya satu, paling penting tuh bahasa, sisanya ngalir aja. Oke, mungkin karena keterbatasan waktu, terima kasih banyak, kita beri sambutan meriah untuk Lester Asamoah.
Thank you so much again, Honorable Rector, Vice Rectors, students, thank you so much. I hope you learned in our exchange. Then I have small gifts to give out to you all as well as we head out. But thank you so much once again for having me here. Terima kasih banyak.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give applause for Mr. Lester Asamoah for the great explanation about United States. All right, ladies and gentlemen, considering our time is not much, so if anyone wants to ask more about United States, maybe you can ask in media social, okay, of the United States Embassy. All right, the last agenda, sir, maybe you can go. Thank you so much, okay. Once again, please give applause for representative of Embassy USA. All right, the last agenda is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to come to the end of our event. We hope that we get from today's event can be useful for all of us. I would like to say apologize and thank you for all of you. Let's close the event today with Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillah. I am Zaki Andri Fahibatullah. Say goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Baik, mohon izin kepada seluruh tamu undangan. Jadi dari